Howdy.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Just start. How you feeling?
Feel good. Feel real good. It was one of those things that the guys kind of went through a tumultuous travel plan, and I was on the inverted end of that, which was stuck at home. So while the guys were trying to get at home, I was trying to get the hell out of the house. But besides that, feel really good. Got some quality time with the family. Got to recoup and really itching to get back out there and play some football.
What was the reaction when you first heard of you getting the Pro Bowl now?
Well, I thought they had misspelled Matt Milano's name on the piece of paper. I'm still under the impression that they did. It was one of those things that it was a great honor, privilege. It's something I don't take lightly. I appreciate my peers and anyone else who voted me on. Do I think this year was the year that I should have gotten it? Probably not, but it was regardless very cool. It's one of those things that I have guys around me that make me look a lot better than I am. I have a quarterback that makes me look a lot better than I am, and it's one of those things that's kind of hard to comprehend, but we're very happy and the family's elated.
Mitch, just from an emotional standpoint, what was it like going back to the football, given your history, and then being able to clear it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, right when it happened, you knew that I was concussed. And the nice thing was I understood the process, the program, understood that all the people I had talked to, the experiences I had gone through the past. At first it was a little emotional, but you kind of get out of that, and then you get into the protocol, and you get into the everyday deal. You start feeling better. You understand that it's just one of those things. It's part of my story and my football story. Feeling healthy. They're not going to put me out there unless I am. Did everything I had to do. Now we're back out there, and I had a lot of fun out there today, and really enjoyed the day.
Mitch, you were wearing the Guardian cap out of practice. Saw that on your helmet. Why is that to be preventative? Like, what goes into that decision?
I mean, it was something I'd been doing. It's something that I continue to do through training camp, and as the year had progressed, we had gotten less and less contact. And when we wore pads, I always wear it. And now you're fresh off protocol, you got to wear it. So I just wanted my head to look as big as possible out there.
Mitch, you mentioned the emotion of it. How hard is it to just dismiss that side of it, understanding your history, and then again pushing through that?
Yeah, it's part of the process. Your emotions are heightened when something like this happens. It's also frustrating that it's part of your story, but that's part of life. Everyone's got something they got to deal with, and I'd had 2 good years of mitigating everything I could, and this was one of those things that was just unavoidable. We handled it the right way. They were very precautious with me. I was very honest with them. Had some conversations with people that I cared about, and we just marched on. Felt very comfortable, felt very fortunate to be where I'm at, and felt very happy to be back out there and get to continue to compete with the guys.
You mentioned the 2 years of mitigating it, right? Not having it pop up. In some ways, did it kind of go in the back of your head as something that maybe you'd left behind a little bit, or is that something that's always you're thinking about?
I wouldn't say you're always thinking about it, because when you go out there, you want to fly around with not reckless abandonment, but when you're out there, there's only one way to play football, and if it's in the back of your mind, then you're putting yourself in a disadvantage. When I signed my extension, my wife and I, we had some frank conversations. We understood that this was something that could pop up again. It did, and we kind of dealt with it. And she was such a trooper. The whole family was cool about it, and I feel very good and happy to be back out here.
How does Coach McDermott during this process help you cope with such an injury of that?
I think for him, he was just dealing with. We got a game plan coming up against a good Chicago team, and for me, I was mostly working with Nate and my coach. But the conversations we had with Coach McDermott were always, it was never anything besides just getting healthy, and we'll see you back out there when you're ready, and that's how it kind of worked out.
What's it like to be somebody who's at the peak of their profession and have to sit at home and watch while everybody else that you've grinded with all year go out there?
Yeah, it's a good question. Injuries in this profession are, it's a 100% injury rate. Some of those are going to put you in the back seat. It's tough when there's a hats and T-shirts day, especially to see that the guys celebrating stuff. But that was their moment. My moment was recovering, and the guys were reached out. It was great, and they had a lot of fun. And I come back out here. I knew there was just time to just take it one day at a time, and that's what we did, and it was cool.
Mitch, what was it like riding out this storm, and how much does your heart go out to the community, knowing the tragic losses that have happened?
Yeah, it was. I mean, my wife would give me updates every day. It's one of those things that life is. It's not to get philosophical on you guys, but any loss of life tragically, it's terrible. Whether it be the race-related ones earlier this year in Buffalo. I feel like this community's gone through so much. Whether it be that, Mother Nature's really taking a toll on us. But this is a city of brotherly love. It's resilient. I was at Tops and someone let me use their discount card. I don't have a Tops card. It was just like little things like that. No idea who I was. All this. So little acts like that. People really helping people. But like you said, it's just people getting stuck in cars, losing power and stuff. And it's easy for you when you're in your house and your power isn't out and you have a generator or something to not really wrap your head around it. But there's some people that were really this is devastating. So like you said, the heart goes out to them, and this community is very resilient. That being said, that doesn't make it much easier when you have something like that happen.
How important or nice is it to have guys like Ryan and Greg and Ike, all these interior guys, that if you are missing a player, Ryan or you, whoever, that everything can kind of still flow like it should?
Yeah, totally. I think you can't understate how nice it is to have guys, veteran dudes or guys who've just been there, done that, go in, understand the game plan, put themselves in a position to kind of seamlessly transition in there. I think guys like you said, GVR, Bates moving to center, Ike coming back in there. That was really cool to see. I think you have to commend a guy like Ike going through that adversity that he did, going out there, not blinking, and going out there and throwing his hands around, having a party. And it was fun to see.
Did you have an idea at all earlier this week that you had the potential to clear the protocol, or was it you show up today and?
No, I mean we knew the trajectory was looking good. We had gone through it, and I had seen the secondary. There's so many people you have to go see, but that was a few days ago that we cleared that, and the next final thing was kind of going through practice, understand how that goes, and so the trajectory's been the right way, but we also understand that how fickle this can be, or how it's such a fluid situation at times. So we didn't put any specific date on it. That wasn't fair for upstairs or myself to do that. But it just kind of the ebbs and flows of this thing, and just the way it moved, it worked out well.
So that said, now that you've cleared, are you planning to play this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Mitch, I know
DJ Reader, just you played him in the Houston playoff game,
2019,
right?
yeah.
Just kind of what stands out when you see him?
Special player, a big guy who has great lateral quickness, but also, explosive, and as a nose tackle. Really good football player, and one of those guys that can make plays late in the play by just finishing, using his hands very well, and he's just a big guy, and uses his size to his advantage.
Since you mentioned you knew the trajectory was trending this way, did you start to look at the Bengals early, or just anything different there?
Nothing different there. I think it was just one of those things you just focus on getting better going in that, and then naturally you go through your weekly progression when you get cleared, and treating this like a quote-unquote Wednesday.
The interest outside of, the fan interest in this game on Monday is pretty huge, given the implications. You've been in these type of situations before with Josh versus, Mahomes, or Josh versus this guy. What's it like what's your perspective on the attention that's being placed on the game while you have a front row seat to have been in these situations a number of times?
Well, I would be lying to you if we didn't see what possible implications this game can play. Does that change anything for us, how we do things around here? No, but it kind of heightens your senses. We understand that regardless of the implications, this is a fantastic football team we're going against on a 7-game win streak for a reason. Play hard, play well, offense and defense. They're just a good football team. AFC defending champions for a reason. And for us, it'll just be about kind of controlling the controllables, which is a cliche, but kind of riding the emotions. That there's going to be ebbs and flows in the game. Plays are going to be made by both sides. It'll be a hostile environment. And we'll just go out and compete the best we can and let the chips fall where they may.
How have you guys learned to embrace these moments? You mentioned riding the wave, ebbs and flows, but I'm sure there's some element of once you've done it enough times, you kind of know how to center that in the right direction.
Yeah, you definitely have some recall on things you can pull from your past. It still is at times you have to remind yourself and ground yourself, and there'll be times in the days leading up or even the day of where you ground yourself and understand it is football. But you can't make many mistakes against this team, especially technique-wise, because they play with great effort and great technique. Thank you.